What's up, guys? Justin here with the SketchUpEssentials.com. All right, so in this video, we're going to talk about solids, why they're important, and how you can use them to take your modeling to the next level in SketchUp. Let's go ahead and just jump into it. Okay, and so just real quick, I want you to understand why this is important. So you can use solids in SketchUp to actually create unique kinds of shapes and also automate a lot of operations. So for example, say that I've got a shape like this one, and I want to remove some corners so that I can have some holes that like a bolt can go through or something like that, right? Well, what you can do is you can use a tool called Solid Tools that's built into SketchUp in order to interact these objects together, right? So you can use this to subtract an object from another object like this in order to quickly cut openings or other things like that. So I've used it for things like this and then for like cutting holes, right? Because these objects are all solids. Well, Solid Tools understands how to interact these all together. So in this case, I could take all four of these objects. I could do an outer shell, and then I could subtract all of the objects at once from this one right here in order to cut the holes on the object right here. So that's something that can be a huge time saver. So I've used this recently a bunch with like framing and other things like that, where I'll take the framing members and I'll join them into a solid, and then I'll use an object like this in order to quickly add a slope to all of the framing members at once, right? This opens up additional options for modeling inside of SketchUp. It's extremely powerful, and I'll link to some videos down below explaining exactly how that works. In this situation, let's start by talking about what a solid is. Like, that's the video that I thought was important to make, right? So basically a solid is a three-dimensional object inside of the space. It's not a 2D shape. It's a 3D shape that has no gaps, no internal faces, and no stray edges. And so, like, for example, like an edge like this is not a solid, right? And if I take this object and I group two of them together, it's not going to be a solid either. And so you can tell if an object is a solid by selecting it and then looking up at your entity info over here. So notice how this is telling me this is a group. Well, a group is not a solid, right? So let's do the same thing with a rectangle. If I draw a rectangle and I put it in a group, still a group, right? It's not a solid. However, if I was to take that and extrude it to 3D, like so, and then look at the group, now this is a solid group, right? Because we have no holes, no gaps and missing faces, and no internal faces. So the general way that I've heard this described is if you were to take an object and fill it up with water, it would completely fill with water and none would leak out, right? So there'd be nothing on the inside keeping it from filling with water, and there's no holes for the water to leak out of. So that's kind of the way that we describe solids. And so notice how solids can come in all different shapes and sizes, right? So for example, say that I was to push-pull an object up right here, and we'll draw a line across right here to split out this face. And then I'm going to push-pull it and put it in a group. That is not a solid. Now, there's a reason for this, and I modeled this wrong, mostly intentionally. The reason is because this has a stray edge over here, right? So that means you can't have extra things hanging off of your object. Like, watch what happens if I come in here and I erase out this edge, and then I click out of the group, click on it. Now it's a solid group, right? So now that is a solid. And so again, the benefit of that is we could then take other solids and we could interact them together using this functionality. So in this situation, for example, say that I wanted to cut a groove into the end of this object using the cylinder. Well, what I could do is I could slide the cylinder over. I'll scale it up so that it's overlapping, but I can subtract this object from this object right here in order to add that groove. So that can actually get really valuable because you can do some really cool things with that. Like, for example, and usually I like for my objects to extend past just to make sure that I'm getting the full cut. But say I was to take this object right here, triple click on it, make it a group, and then subtract this from this object. Notice how now that's going to add a bevel on the end right here. So the solid modeling functionality is really valuable. Now let's take a look at a couple other examples. So let's say that I took an object like this one, but now this object had a face on the inside like this. So, and you can't really see it, right? If I right click and I hide, you can see it. So that's going to have a face on the inside. If I toggle on X-ray mode, you can see it. If I select this whole thing and I put it in a group right here, notice how it shows up as a group. Well, the reason it shows up as a group is because it has an internal face. Now, it's not the edges on the outside, it's the actual face. So, I mean, obviously the easiest way to get rid of that face would be to erase the edge. Well, then it's a solid group. But just for illustration's sake, if I was to hide this outside group, delete this out, and then do an edit, unhide all to bring that face back, notice how this can be a solid group with the edges on the outside, because the edges on the outside are not creating an internal face in here. So there is a little bit of flexibility there, but then notice how if I was to come in here and I was to draw a line off of this object right here, now it has a stray edge. Well, now that it has a stray edge, it's no longer a solid group. And so this can get really tricky to figure out, right? Because like tracking some of that stuff down can be extremely, extremely difficult because it's just like there's so much checking of geometry and other things like that. So let's say, okay, and so now let's take a look at another situation with an object that isn't going to show up as a solid. So this object right here is actually fine, except that it's got some gaps in the surface on the top here. That's problematic, right? So if I double click in here, what I want to do is I want to heal those gaps. So in this case, it's easy, right? You just come in here and draw a line. Now, obviously with more complex surfaces, you could spend a lot of time with this kind of thing. But notice how when I heal those surfaces, there's now no longer any holes or gaps. And this is now considered a solid group. And so then you could come in here and you could, do whatever solid operations you wanted to this shape with another solid, right? So you could take this shape right here and you could just remove that material on the end or do whatever you wanted to do. And so sometimes this can get really hard to track down. And so there's an extension that's extremely helpful for working with solids called Solid Inspector. You can download it for free inside of the SketchUp extension warehouse. So if you go to the SketchUp extension warehouse, you want to look for Solid Inspector by TomTom. And there's two in here. There's an older one that works. Sometimes I use the older one if the newer one, it looks at the solids a little bit differently. So sometimes I'll have objects that Solid Inspector 2 or squared doesn't actually pick up. But I rarely use the older one. I usually use the newer one because it's just a better tool. But what you want to do is you want to download and install this into SketchUp. And so once you install this, what it's going to do is it's going to inspect your object and see what's making something not a solid. Okay, and so let's take a look at the way that Solid Inspector works. So once you install it, you can right click up in your toolbars section and open up the Solid Inspector toolbar. So it's just one icon right here. But basically you take an object, I'm going to turn my hidden geometry off, you run it, and it's going to tell you, oh, well, you have an issue. You have 3 surface borders on this object that aren't closed in. Well, one of the things you can do is if you have trouble finding these, you can actually hit the tab key, and it's going to actually zoom in and it's going to circle where the issue is. Well, you can see how in this case, the issue is that we have 3 holes in our mesh. Right? So if I tab into this, it's going to circle them for me and show them. Sometimes, but not always, it can automatically fix the issues. In this case, all I need to do is just come back in and patch the holes like so. And then we have another issue. So we're going to run it right here again. And so if we look at this, when we did that, it actually created some internal faces, right? And so if we click on fix, it's going to delete the internal faces right here. And now we have a solid group. So this next one is something that I run into a lot. So this feels like it should be a solid group, right? Like looking at it, it looks like it should be a solid group. Well, the problem is it's not showing up as solid. So what I'll do is I'll run Solid Inspector and it's going to show me, oh, you've got a problem with your surface borders right here. And you can kind of orbit around and see okay, we've highlighted the fact that somehow this bottom face got deleted right here. Now I can't fix it, but what I can do, or I can't fix it using the tool, but what I can do is then double click in here and just fix this object right here, right? So you can delete this out. Now, if we run this again, we're still going to have an issue, right? So the issue now is going to be that I've got an external face in here. I've got an extra face because it healed this in here. Well, now this is no longer a completely three-dimensional shape because it has a flat surface with nothing internal. In this case, if I click on Fix, it'll delete that out, and this is now a solid. And so this one is another situation where it looks pretty solid, right? But if I run this, it's going to tell me that I've got 5 external faces. That's actually not correct. The issue with this one, and this is where you have to be a little bit careful, the issue with this one is actually that this shape and this shape haven't been completely interacted in here, and there's an extra face on the inside, right? So you do have to be a little bit careful that you're not deleting out things that you do need. So in this case, right, I would actually fix it by going in here, deleting out that extra face, and then looking at this. And so now we can take a look and see what the issue is. Well, now I've got a surface border problem. If I mouse over this and hit the tab key, it's going to show me that. And basically our problem now is just that we need to close in this face right here. So now this is going to be a solid group. And then this one over here is a little bit interesting. So if we click on this right here, it looks like it should be a solid. But if I run this, notice how it's showing me that I have a stray edge. Well, if I hit the tab key, it's going to show me the stray edge that I have way over here. So it's going to help me locate that. And then if I click on Fix, it'll just delete it out. And now I've got a simple, solid cube that I can use. All right, so that should give you an idea of how solids work and kind of a start of how to use them. I'll link to some more videos on how to do this in the notes down below. As always, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks, guys.